right, I'm going to try to do this demonstration and talk at the same time. This is going to be a real-time demonstration, so hopefully those of you who like to follow along in real time will enjoy this one. So the first thing I want to do is prepare my stringer, and I just have this yellow. And what I want to do is coat it in clear so I can use it as an element for this bead I'm going to make. And first I just need to get a good gather. When I gather my glass, I'm always holding it down here, like the rod's going down this way, so the ball always is kind of hanging out on the top, just, you know, due to me balancing it on the end. That's a pretty good amount. Okay, so now keep that moving, and I'm just gonna shape it up real quick here in this marble mold, just a little bit. And now I will add some clear on top. And I don't need to reheat this color because I'm about to reheat it by adding the clear. I'm just getting a ball hot, dropping and pressing and kind of pulling it around. Almost there. Just heating and swiping. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so at this point, I'm just going to go back and round this out a little bit. Okay, so I'm pretty much ready to punty up this side here. I just barely go in, and then I kind of roll right here on my torch, kind of pull it back out a little bit. And because I only need a little bit of this, I'm just gonna pull it away from, just pull it right off of the rod, the glass rod. So I'm going to come out here, a little bit more heat in the thicker area. And I just gently start to stretch. And I blow on it a little bit to stiffen it up, and then I give it a slightly harder pull. All right, so this will be perfect for what I need to use it for. And then some. Let that cool down, and I will use it in a little bit here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start this out with the base of black. I'm going to try to make these colors really stand out. And heat up my mandrel while I heat the glass up. And I'm using a thicker rod of black here, so it is taking a little bit longer to heat up. I want to make sure I have enough to get all the way around and make a nice first wrap. So sometimes I'll gather up a little bit more. All right, I'm going to drop it and very gently turn. It's a slow turn for me. because I want to make sure that all that glass is wrapped up on both sides evenly. I give this a quick reheat, but I'm going to add a little bit more to one side, and there's also a little sharp end there, but I'm going to add a little bit more to make it wider. Just right here on the edge. There we go. Okay, that should be good. Now, at this point, I can roll it out if I want to, but just a tiny, tiny bit. And when I do that, I'll wait for it to cool down somewhat too. Then I'm just kind of tapping and rolling just to get a nice, just small footprint bead ready. And so where am I here? I'm about, that's a little bit less than a ½ inch. All right, so on that, I'm going to start to build up. Get this black nice and hot. And I'm just going to touch and slowly travel around the bead. At the end, I have to kind of continue to feed the cool glass in there and heat it up. And very gently take it around one more time. That should be fine. It's way off center, but it's easy to fix when you heat everything up. And the whole bead is moving as one unit. That's when you can round everything out. So I'm just going to heat. And because this is not a very long bead, I'm just going to heat right in the center. And even like this, you know, it will eventually round out as long as I just be patient and continue to heat. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to take a couple seconds here to let it cool down. Maybe I will just gently flatten it in a couple spots here. Make it more even. Yeah, it looks nice. Okay, so at this point we want to start adding our dots. And I'm going to add some small white dots to the side. So I'm just going to heat my glass from the side here. And then I just want a small dot, so I just touch and lift up. And then I can hold that dot, I can face it towards me and do that again. Touch and lift up. Touch, lift up, and one more here. Touch and lift up. So those are our 4 dots on one side. We'll turn it around and we'll try to add the same dots on the other side here in the opposite areas. So touch and lift. I'm only trying to get as much glass hot as I need to drop the dot. It's a controlled amount. So here's what we have so far. And we'll just spend a second to melt these in a little bit. I'm also heating the sides. A little bit more. We're going to take this into a full round. There we go. Almost a full round. It's still a little, you know, bumpy. Okay, so at this point, I want to add some color. So let's add this green. It's like a dark grass green. Maybe it's the medium. So I'm going to start to heat that up. And I'll just go ahead and add a larger dot than previously. I try to cover the whole bit of white as well. So I push down, push, and then lift up. Okay, so let's do this other side real quick. This is like it's kind of like a teal color. Okay, so same thing. Get my heat. Press down and lift. If you ever have transparent colors that tend to boil in the flame, you just need to be more further out in the flame. It may take a little longer for it to heat up, but it'll be a lot nicer because it won't have these tiny bubbles in it. So this is a different take on my 101 demo called Silly Stupid. That one was real simple, but I'm going to just take that same technique and just make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so here's what I have so far. And now, before we move forward, we're going to add our cane or our stringer right to the center. And I'm looking for the thin part of my stringer, so I'm probably going to start here. Okay, so we still have dots up here. I'm going to heat my bead up a little bit so it gets tacky, and then I'm just going to heat a little dot and place it right next to one of those dots. Oh, try to get it straight. I kind of messed up a little bit there. Let's see if I can't kind of push it where it needs to go. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, so at this point, what I want to do is just heat everything up. Now that the cane or that the stringer is on there, give it a full heat, and then we'll see what happens with the stringer. I just enjoy watching the side dots melt in and then push the stringer back and forth. It's just a really fun little trick. Now, if some of the stringer got on top of your dots like mine did a little bit, that's okay. Because we're going to add one more round of color or clear. We'll add one more round of clear. And then you'll see how that really changes the stringer. All right, so we're back into a round. I'll let that cool down. This would be a great time if you want to add some bubbles inside if you want to. That would be fun. Let's do that. Let me see. Okay, so I got my tungsten pick here. And I'm just going to heat each one of these up. And very gently press in to the center. I try not to get it so hot that the whole bead is moving. I'm just trying to get the clear on top of that dot hot enough to just press in just a little dot there. Clean off my table. Same thing on this side. Press. And I tend to let that heat soak in a little bit before I press. here, let the heat soak in, and then press. All right, so that's what we got so far. Let's go ahead and add some clear on top of this, and we'll be done. Spending a little time heating up this clear. Okay. I'm going to press a nice big clear dot down. I'm not worried if it kind of maybe, you know, covers up a little bit of the stringer. That's okay. Nice big clear dots. I just spend a few seconds warming it up when I'm done so none of these dots pop off. I hate it when the dots pop off. It's so frustrating. Okay, so little heat. Okay, back and forth. We'll come out and just drop it, push and lift up. I'm trying to do a swirl, but I'm having a hard time with that because I got my pinky finger wrapped up around my mandrel. That's better. And one more. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and heat this up and see how it looks. And I'm going to spend most of my time heating right in the center. However, you know, I will go in on the sides just to start heating up the whole bead. And when everything starts to kind of heat up, I will focus more in the center. Right about now. Just focus in the middle. I'm taking my time turning. Let's hit these sides as well now. Okay, we're getting close. Everything's getting super soft. It's also fun to kind of leave them like this with a little bit of raised up texture. But we'll go ahead and just heat the whole thing up. When I get real close to the end, I will start to heat kind of like where the mandrel is and the bead meet. Okay, we're getting there. Nice. There we have it. I do spend a long time just sitting here turning it at the end, just to keep it on center of the mandrel and to let it just gently cool down. I want to make sure I maintain my shape at all times. All right, well that is our Silly Stupid with color. I think I might add just a few more little dots here with this yellow, just because I am liking the way it looks. So what if we want to make this pattern a little bit more interesting? So I'm going to put a little, oops, what am I going to do? Yeah. Put dots here. right on the tip of these peaks. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. This could be a different color if you want it to be. All right, I think that is it, you guys. I'm just going to finish heating this up. Make sure those little tiny Swiss dots are halfway melted in. Do I need to add more? No, I think that looks pretty good. All right, you guys. Give it a final heat here. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of a level up on the Silly Stupid. And I hope that you guys enjoyed watching it in real time as well. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time in the dungeon.